is the best policy. Well, for the most part, teens do believe this.
When asked, how honest are you with your parents, more than half of the teens said very honest.
Now, many young people felt that lying only gets someone into a deeper hole because parents have a way of finding out.
Other teens felt that they owed their parents the truth because their parents had sacrificed so much for them.
Now, for these young people, the fourth commandment, honor thy father and mother, is a lived reality.
Hi, I'm Steve.
And I'm Adriana.
And this is Real Faith TV.
As a Catholic, Christians, we are bound to be honest with our parents. The fourth commandment, as well as Jesus' command for us to love one another as he has loved us, is our guideline for how our parents should be treated.
Honesty with our parents. That's what we're going to be talking about today on Real Faith TV.
Now today we'll meet Jackie, who will also talk about an important, honest relationship that she has with her parents.
And today's music video is Between You and Me by the always awesome DC Talk.
We will also check out how honest our studio guests are with their parents. But first, let's meet some teens on the street and see if they're honest with their parents.
I'm coming home from a club at about 1:30. I was supposed to be home like 15 minutes ago, but I had to go get some from my friend's house. So I go there, I come back, and my mom's quite mad because I was half an hour late. Now, I wasn't supposed to go there, so if I would have told her that I went there, she would have been extremely mad. But really, half an hour was not very important, so I decided not to tell her. I think it was a good choice.
If you have like herpes or something, you need treatment, obviously you should tell them, but if it's something stupid like going somewhere, it's just like, who cares, white lies.
I didn't always tell the truth to my mom or dad, but you should tell the truth.
Not always, it depends what the subject is.
If it's something, a serious matter, then I think honesty is always the best thing. But about little things, sometimes, I just don't develop a habit of it, because then you'll end up lying to more people than just your parents if you develop a habit of it.
If you're not honest with your parents, then that's not showing responsibility. And the best thing is to do is tell your parents the truth. Because if you don't tell your parents the truth, something's gonna happen between you and your family.
That is so true. I mean, if you don't have responsibility, if you don't tell the truth, then it's not showing responsibility, you know? And dishonesty not only hurts your relationship with your parents, but your relationship with others and God.
Yeah, I totally agree with that one.
Yeah.
But how about we find out what our studio guests think about this topic?
Sounds like a good
All
idea.
right, great. Joining us today, Adrian, Sarah, Dan, and Vanessa.
Now, tell the truth. Are you guys honest with your parents?
I'm extremely honest with my parents. I mean, I tell my mom, like, everything, even if it's not, like, about, like, what I was doing that night, just about, like, issues that I'm having and everything. And I think that, like, trust and telling your parents the truth really opens a door to become almost like friends with your parents.
I don't think you should always tell the truth. I mean, I try to be as truthful as I can, but sometimes it just isn't right. Like, if you're going to a party and your alcohol is gonna be there, but you're not gonna drink, you're not gonna tell your mom, like, yeah, Mom, I'm going to a party. There's gonna be alcohol there, but I'm not gonna drink. So if you go, you don't drink, it's still gonna be okay. But
like what he's saying is where a lot of times people don't tell their parents the entire truth because they think the parents are gonna stop them from doing something that they want to. And I mean, I'm more truthful with my parents now than I was before, but I'm older now and I know that if I tell them I'm going somewhere, they're not gonna hold me back because they know I'll make the right choice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And also if your parents trust you, so if you tell them you're going to a party with alcohol, but they know you enough that they know that you're not gonna drink then,
Yeah,
like,
I think
you should just tell them the truth.
I think it's all about every parent is different. Every parent has different viewpoints. Like maybe his mom wouldn't let him go because that's just what she believes in. If there's alcohol, no. But another parent might think, oh, well, you know, there's gonna be alcohol, you're not gonna drink, you're not gonna get in the car with anybody, I trust you, then I'll let you go. I think it all depends on the parents too.
Yeah.
You know?
It's true.
Like, sometimes it's easier to lie, like what Adrian was saying, when we consider the consequences that our parents are gonna either find out what we've done or the temptation is really there to lie.
Right, and during these times, it's most important to consider the consequences, like you said, of lying and getting caught.
Yeah.
Usually the punishment is probably less when you're more honest and you tell the truth from the start.
Why would you say sometimes you're tempted not to be so honest with them?
So I couldn't get my way. I wouldn't be able to go out, hang out with certain friends. Basically, the law would get laid down and I wouldn't get my way.
Because I sometimes want to get out of the house and get away from them, because sometimes they really bug me.
When I'm with my boyfriend.
When something happens to my car or things like happen, like I went in a ditch the other day.
Well, if they like pressure me into like telling them stuff, like I just tell them like nothing and then I walk away.
I'm a guilty man, you know.
Sure is guilty of you to lie. So tell me, when have any of you guys been tempted to lie to your parents?
When you know the consequence will be very severe and you can get away with it.
Don't you feel guilty at all?
Oh, definitely. You just I love my parents and you don't want to lie to them, but you're scared. So you gotta lie.
I don't know.
Like whenever I get a bad grade on a test, I feel bad because like if I know I didn't really do much to study or work for it or anything, then I know they're gonna be upset and they'll be like, well, it's your own fault. So I don't know. I don't like to tell them that kind of stuff. I also think like it's tempting to lie to your parents when like you did something really stupid, you know, like if you like break something in the house, you know, just because like you weren't paying attention, and like, but I always think again like of the consequences or like how like my parents would feel like so hurt that I lied to them, you know, it would like ruin our relationship. So why should I tell the truth?
I know. I don't know. I can't lie because then whenever I look at them, I'm like, oh, if you only knew.
I know.
So I can't do it.
You.
I can't do it. I feel so guilty. I just can't. I did that. I think, God, it was so long ago, and I was like, all right, I have to tell you the truth. I can't do it. And since then, I just cannot lie. I don't know. I just feel so guilty. I just can't deal with it. I can't handle myself. I really can't. How about you?
Well, I think a lot of times with my parents, I lie to them because I don't feel that they'll understand what I want to do. And they, it almost becomes an issue of trust, whether or not they trust me. And if I'm lying to them, they really shouldn't be trusting me anyway, but it's just more of an understanding between parents and kids. The parents don't think the kids are capable of doing some of the things that they are.
True, very true.
My dad always knows everything anyway.
They always have a way of finding out, you know? But, well, you know what? Jackie is honest with her parents most of the time. Next in our Spotlight interview, she tells us of a time when she wasn't completely honest and she got caught.
When I've been tempted to be dishonest with my parents is when I really did something wrong, or like when I came in late at night from being out with my boyfriend all day. Usually if I'd come in too late, like I'd say they'd be in at, you had to be in at 9:30, I'd come in like 10 o'clock and they'd ask me where I'd been and I just said we got stuck in traffic. And then they'd be really ticked off since that was a school night and they want me in earlier off to study. The hardest thing would probably be when I'm hanging out with my friends and where we're going, what we're doing. It's not like we're going to do anything bad, but we're really spending our time. So then they know that I'm safe, and I really want to go and do my own thing with my friends. And they'd rather me be safe and be okay and be responsible, and I just want to goof off and have fun. Recently, a couple weeks ago, my boyfriend came over and he went in the house just to go help me bring out some lunch. My parents weren't home, they both were at work, and my father found out that he was in the house, and he pretty much said to me if he ever was in the house again, I wouldn't have the car for a year. And to me right about now, that's a lot. I'd rather have the car than getting in trouble with them again. So they really were not too happy with me, and they made the message pretty clear then. So after that had happened, they had a long talk with me, and I kind of understood why they didn't want anybody in the house for reasons of safety. But after that, they found out he was in the house. They lost some trust with me. Could they trust me all the time with different things? And when I'm saying the real answer, should they really believe me or not? But after about a week to 2 weeks, they started trusting me with a little bit more stuff, and they were able to trust me again.
Well, I guess some parents are a little bit more harsh with some things than others. You know, I think many teens stated, although that they are mostly honest with their parents, they sometimes leave out parts of the truth or twist the truth a little bit. You know, I mean, I guess her father found out, but she couldn't really twist the truth there.
Right. But you know, that's also being dishonest. You know, in fact, leaving out pieces of the truth can, I guess you could say, can be manipulative.
It's just as bad as lying. It's the same thing, not telling the whole truth.
This is true.
Misleading someone.
You know, it does so much damage to a relationship with, like, parents, you know, everybody, you know. Lying is done as much with silence as it is with words.
I never thought of it that way. Like, if you don't tell them, that's silence. But if you do, you know, I really like that. Good job, Steve. It's a really good viewpoint. Now, did any of you guys find yourself tempted not to tell your parents the complete truth because you might not have the courage to tell them the whole truth? You kind of twisted it around like Steve just said. Have any of you guys done that?
No, once the truth is out, that's pretty much it. You're shot. Everything comes out right then.
I think basically they know if you're like, oh, well, yeah, it was kind of like this, and you twist it around a little bit.
You try. I mean, people
Parents
try,
aren't dumb.
but you just look worse and worse.
You know what parents do? They ask you one time, you come up with one lie. They ask you again, and all of a sudden it's changed, and that's how they go.
Like, I had detention. My mom asked me what I did on Wednesday. I was like, oh, I had an after-school activity. And she's like, oh, but I found a slip. I was like, no, you couldn't have. It must have been last year. And she's like, no, I checked. And I called it, and I was like, are you sure? And she was like, I was like, no, I'm dead. I was like,
What about you guys?
Well, I think that you're always tempted to. You know, you can like always tell like part of the truth that might not have been like bad, you know, but again, they're always going to find out. And parents always have a way of knowing if you're holding something back from them. So it'll always come out later on.
Yeah, we're always bound to make mistakes, you know. I think it takes more courage to admit to them than it does to hide them.
I agree with Dan. Like you lie or you tell the truth, because like half truths, they just come back to bite you, and they...
And it hurts when they bite you, doesn't it?
And parents were here, like parents were us. They know what kids lie about, and we're gonna grow up and we're gonna know what our kids lie about. So it's just better off.
Better off just being honest.
Because half truth is half lie. Not worth it.
Too much work, exactly.
Too much thinking.
Hey, you know what? Let's go back to our interview with Jackie and find out why she tries to be honest all the time with her parents.
Many times when I was younger, I lied about certain things, but not as much now. I kind of learned over the years not to go and lie, because it's just going to get you in more problems. Most of the time, I'm very honest with them. I'll tell them if I did something wrong. Once in a while, I don't really want to tell them the truth. Honesty is the best policy, since they go and trust me more and they give me more responsibility to do different things and let me out more. They give me a lot more trust and a lot more respect if I'll go and be honest with them, and they'll understand and they'll let me do more things, like go out with my friends when I want to and give me more responsibilities with bigger things if I don't lie. Lying will lead to one thing when you lie about usually leads to bigger and bigger and bigger things till you get in a lot more problems. So it just helps if you don't lie at all. My parents have never really lied at all, to us even, so that kind of helped us to go and look up to somebody as to be like, to not lie, to go and be more like them. My faith has some influence where when I was younger it did teach you don't lie to your parents, you're not supposed to be dishonest, part of the 10 Commandments and the things like that. So it did help as guidelines that you should not lie.
Yeah, you shouldn't lie. My friend, this is kind of a little bit bigger than not letting your boyfriend in the house, but she actually got pregnant, and she came to me and she was telling me, what should I do? You know, I'm scared, I don't want to tell my parents, and she was actually thinking of getting an abortion and all this other stuff. Yeah, and because she was scared to admit to her parents what had happened, because this is a life-changing event that happens in your life. I mean, she's got a kid, and so I told her, I said, well, this is going to change your life, but an abortion is not the way to go. You can't, it's murdering a child and all this stuff. And we talked for hours and hours. And she actually did tell her parents the truth when she was about 2 or 3 months pregnant. And, it changed the family. I mean, it changed her life. But now the baby's born and, it's a gift. They've really embraced it, and they've embraced her. It was a mistake that, not the baby was born, but that, she made that mistake, and she admitted to it, and she talked to her parents about it, and now they're closer. And lying just doesn't really get you anywhere, especially with that. I mean, the truth was bound to
She's probably more grateful that she decided to tell the truth
really,
to her parents.
they all love the baby so much, and they really embraced it with so much love, and she's a really dedicated mother. She's young, but what are you going to do, How about you guys? Has your faith played any role in your attempt or your ability to be honest with your parents? I know her, she didn't have an abortion. She had the baby, and that was because she knew it would be murdering a child of God.
Well, I think your faith plays a role in everything you do. So that, you certainly always think, it always comes to play in lying to your parents. It's just, morally wrong. Not thinking about the consequences or about, your relationship with your parents.
There's always consequences.
Right, but you just shouldn't lie, period. So, whether it's your parents or with anything else, and that's what our faith teaches us.
Mm-hmm.
True.
The Bible teaches us to obey your parents, and if you lie in any way, half lie, quarter lie, if you lie, you're disobeying your parents, so you're going against the Bible, and that's...
Exactly.
You're
Lying
supposed to
is...
follow your faith.
I think lying is lying to yourself also. It's just candy coating and sugar coating the whole truth, and you're just going to be unhappy because deep inside you're going to know the truth. You're going to feel lonely because nobody else does.
And God always knows. That's another thing I always think of. Even if it's, if I'm tempted to tell a lie and, no one would ever find out, it's just, a little thing, He always knows,
Exactly. You just can't ignore things like that.
Right. And who's it come back to in the end? Yourself.
Yourself.
Right?
Builds up bad
Exactly.
character.
You can lie to other people, and they won't know the truth, but you can't lie to yourself because
Might
you'll
become a
always know the
habit.
truth.
Builds bad character.
It's even worse than just doing it once.
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay.
The truth is out there.
The truth will reveal itself.
The truth will set you free.
This is true again.
Sitting there in the corner.
Not my type of music, but I like the video. The lyrics were deep.
What about the message it sends? What do you think about that? About the truth and...
I think God, like she said, God knows. It may help yourself when you lie, but it hurts everyone around you, and just builds up a horrible character. Them little lies.
My favorite line in the song is when I think it's "Forgive me for the words I've spoken, for I've betrayed a friend." Basically, what I get from that is that, the whole song, it's between him and God. He's talking to God, and when he's asking for forgiveness because he's betrayed God because he's lied, and God always knows when you lie, like we were saying before, and he wants to get it all out of him. He wants to, confess everything before the sun goes down, before he can go to sleep, and he wants to make sure him and his relationship with God is good. That's what I get from it. I don't know.
To have a clear conscience.
Exactly.
I also love the line when it said, "If there's to be any resolution, I've got to peel my pride away." That's true. That sometimes to tell the whole truth, you're almost putting yourself down. But
to admit it, it's hard.
Exactly, but that's the best thing to do.
Because if you think about it, the whole reason why we tell some of the lies that we tell is because of our pride. Because we don't want anybody
to look lower down
exactly.
on us. Yeah.
We want to be up on this pedestal that everyone sees us on. And when we decide that, if I tell them that this is the true thing about me, I'm going to get knocked down, and I'm not going to be on that pedestal anymore. I'm just going to be this human being.
When we should all see that we do all make mistakes.
Right.
And everyone should see that, even if we do tell the truth. For example, if I were to tell you the truth, Vanessa, and you're like, God, she's such a bad person because she did this. And it's everyone makes mistakes, That's a great way to see it, too. Everyone should really forgive and be
and people get over it.
Yeah, get over it. Stuff
over yourself.
happens.
Just again, be honest. Because like we said in the beginning, honesty is the best policy.
It really is.
You know,
it really is.
There's no other thing than
there's
being
no way to
honest
beat
with
around the
people.
bush.
Because you know, once you build that trust between people in relationships, and once you lie, you're gonna break that trust, and your whole relationship's gonna be gone.
It's gonna be harder to build up the trust.
I have a good friend. She's like my best friend, and she was really, her parents had gotten divorced, and she was really depressed and upset about a lot of things, and she was too scared to tell the truth to her parents that she was getting really depressed, and she was even scared to tell me for a while, because when she finally told me, she was like, I just didn't know what to do, and I didn't know if I could tell anybody, and I was just really scared, and it just built up on her till I could see that she just wasn't happy anymore, and she didn't have any energy, and when she finally told her parents and she told people, then she just awoke, she like became alive again, and
it's killing her inside to keep that.
Exactly.
A weight lifted off your shoulders.
Whatever it is, if something is bothering us, we should just tell them. Tell anybody, because it just builds up and it just makes us a miserable person.
That's right, because people, our parents, you know, included, you know, trust more when they tell the truth, even when it's difficult. If we're honest in small matters, we can build a trust-based relationship with them, and they'll usually allow us more freedom.
Honesty gives us freedom to be more honest in the future. Lying is really habit forming, even though we don't realize it sometimes. Often one lie forces you to have to tell many other lies in order to be consistent with the first lie. Honesty also gives us a peace of mind and a clear conscience as well.
That's true. Are you honest with your parents? We want to know what you think. Contact us through our website.
And post your thoughts on our message boards or drop us an email. Our website address is realfaithtv.com.
Or call us at 609-406-7402.
Now remember, our relationship with our parents is very precious. This bond changes during our adolescence as we struggle toward more independence from our parents.
Honesty, however, will actually earn us more trust and freedom.
That's right, so tell the truth.
God bless you, and we'll see you next time.
On Real Faith TV.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
For those dealing with the daily struggles of caring for a loved one, we hear you. That's why AARP created a community with experts and other caregivers to help us better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
It takes less than 1 minute to find out if you may have prediabetes. You can do it here. But you probably won't. You're busy. Kids, work, show coming back in 48 seconds. So let's do this now. Hold up one finger if you're a man, women, 0. 3 more fingers if you're over 60, 2 over 50, 1 over 40. If you're not sure, keep in mind you're sitting on a couch right now, so 1 more finger if you're not very active. 1 finger if yes, 0 if no. 1 yes, 0 no. Next, find the body type that looks most like you and hold up that many fingers while I look around awkwardly. And that's it. If you're holding up 5 fingers or more, you probably have prediabetes. Sorry to be so blunt, but hey, you're busy. Just go to the site.
Don't let E. coli mosh with your food. An estimated 3,000 Americans die from a foodborne illness each year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So always separate raw meat from vegetables. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Son, tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun. Wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.